some of that Evaldi sugar all over me. I didn't realize he was such a grunter. They had some of the players mic'd up, or at least different microphones, and so just realized that he grunts like, one of the female tennis players.
Like Monica Seles.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, you want to throw 100 miles an hour, man.
You got to get something behind it, right?
Yeah, you gotta make a noise. I think that's the general rule of thumb. He had a great one. We're going to get to him in a second. Breaking news, though, Adam Schefter, ESPN, reporting that the Patriots are releasing four-time Pro Bowl cornerback Stephon Gilmore.
Wow.
Imagine that. Letting him walk. Former defensive player of the year. It's on the PUP list. He had a couple more weeks to go before he would be eligible to play for the Patriots. Is there an injury there? Maybe to some degree, but certainly it was a dollars and cents standpoint. Clearing some space, evidently. The Patriots under the cap to get linebacker Jamie Collins in, who got cut by the Lions, and they're looking to pick him up. As for Gilmore, he is eligible in a couple of weeks. Bucks would be the prime spot, right?
Right, they need help there,
secondary help.
Yeah.
So is Kansas City, and so is Green Bay, and all three obviously Super Bowl contenders. So those are the three that the experts are talking about, and where Gilmore may land, but it ain't gonna be with the Patriots. That's tough, right? To let the best at what he does when he's healthy walk away. Man. Red Sox Tampa Bay, game one will be tomorrow night, the ALDS. Thanks to the Red Sox 6-2 win over the Yankees last night. They got it done. Garrett Cole got bounced out early. Evaldi made it through 5 1/3, was looking good, got dinged up a little bit, and Cora went out and got him, but Cora, man, was impressed with Evaldi.
We had the right guy on the mound today. How many times he faced him? 8 times this year, I think. And for him to pitch that way, they know him. They know him, and he was great.
Bogarts has been struggling. He hit 2-run home in the first half, kind of getting everything going. Schwarber had another one, solo home run on the third. Man, that guy can hit. He is one of the best hitters in baseball. I mean, he can walk. He's got a great strike zone. I mean, impressive, that guy. What a pickup that was. Verdugo, 3 RBIs, big double to score 2 that really counted. Big play of the game was Kiki Hernandez taking one off the wall, getting into Bogarts all the way to the plate to tag Judge out, who was trying to score from first. Phil Nevin, the third base coach, taking some heat last night and this morning for sending him with 1 out. That guy third. Can't make the second out of the inning at the plate. Oh, bad stuff. But helped out the Red Sox, that's for sure. Top of the first inning. Giancarlo Stanton, he dogged it on the fly ball that he thought was out. Right. It's off the top of the green monster. He ends up at first base. He was mistaken, and so was John Sterling, the Yankee announcer.
The pitch to Stanton.
And there it goes. Deep left, it is high. It is far. And it's gone out of the ballpark. A Stantonian home run.
You préfères en permanence?
What heaven looks like can do the hell do.
Yeah, I think in Rhode Island, such a province, we think of ourselves as a foodie type of a city with so many good restaurants. Not only up on Federal Hill, but all over. A lot of different.
Tacos, Yankees, Jockey, what everything is done at once. Yep.
What supplies everything? Hey, no foreskin, no opinion on circumcision. Right? Don't talk about it. Don't. I mean, really, if you want to be as base as that. Here's the thing. issue of abortion came up, and they needed to talk to experts that always go to the National Organization for Women. They would never think to go to a women's group that was pro-life, because they would say, well, wait a minute, National Organization for Women represents all women. No, it doesn't. Just like no uterus, no opinion from Jennifer Aniston. That's not correct. Because women who have a uterus who are pro-life don't agree with her. But do you think their voices would be heard? No. Absolutely not. So if we apply that to everything, I mean, there's going to be a lot of issues, one, I can't talk about, and two, women won't be able to talk about. Danny, what if you're gender fluid? Can you know, not to make jokes about transgenderism, we don't, but I'm seriously trying to be serious here. It's just the uterus. If you have the uterus, you can talk about it, right? What about, wait a minute, what about somebody who's had a radical hysterectomy?
They can, I guess, because they had. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know what the rules are.
Would you do me a favor? Would you get Jennifer Aniston's publicist on the phone during the break? Could you do that for me? Yeah. Okay, when we return, you don't have to lace up your sneakers to run in the Boston Marathon. Well, to run for a cause. We'll talk about it when we return. You're listening to the Jim Polito Show. You are not alone.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. I'm John Bayback. Here are the local stories we're following this morning. Rhode Island State Police expected to have more details on that fiery crash on I-95 yesterday. A car goes out of control and hits a tree. 3 people dead, the 3 all in their 20s. 38-year-old Pawtucket man being sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison. Prosecutor says that Modesto Mercado sold a kilo of coke to a man while under surveillance in February of last year. We now know who the runoff will be between in Providence for a vacant state Senate seat. Sam Jurrier, the former city council member, wins the Democratic primary. He'll take on the Republican Alex Cannon in November. And word overnight that in Block Island, the historic Atlantic Inn is for sale. Asking price $9.75 million. Get news anytime at newsradiori.com.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Spectacular